Hi, I'm here because you downloaded my free Find Your Style PDF guide, and I've got so much more I want to share with you, and I thought I would do that through a series of short videos. I make these videos and the style guide, and I do the teaching I do because it's so important to me to help people to find their own way with their creativity. It's my passion in life, and I didn't find this until really late on. So now I want to do as much of it as I can. I've been where you are now, and I'm assuming based on the fact that you downloaded that guide that you either don't feel like you have a clear style or you want to change the one you have into something else. And either way, I can help. I totally remember that feeling of I just want to make unique things. People are telling me what I make is great, but I want to make something that I feel is great. And because I'm not doing that, I used to feel a little bit like an imposter. Like, I know you're all complimenting my realistic paintings, but that's not really what I feel like is inside me. I feel like I could do more, but I don't know how. And then, partly I felt like there was more inside me, and partly I doubted that I even had any talent at all. Is there any, maybe I just wasn't given whatever it is that other people have. And I'm guessing that you feel some of those things sometimes. And so these series of videos I'm going to send out are to help you. And I first want to start by just clarifying the issue a little bit, because I call the guide Find Your Style because I know that's what people want. But actually, I pull back and I challenge you to think a little bit about that. Is it a style you want, or is it something broader? Do you want to find your own voice? You want to find, because styles can change. So my styles have changed over the years, but what stayed consistent is that I'm in it. I'm in what I'm making because I'm clearly expressing my true self, not mimicking other people, which I did in the beginning, and there's nothing wrong with that in the beginning, but that is what I did. I'm not mimicking other people or just doing what I think is the right thing and trying to stay within the lines and trying to always get it right. Instead, I'm truly expressing from in here the real me at any given moment, whatever that is, because we are many, many things in our lives, aren't we? And lots of contradictions. But that feeling of being able to express yourself, to look at your work and see it and say, that feels like me, that is an amazing thing. And that is what I want to give to you. And so your style might change, but your voice will stay consistent. So let's start with a central idea that making art that feels like you is first about accepting yourself as you are. It's really a life lesson before you even get to the painting. Because if you're not accepting yourself where you are now, how you are now, who you are now, how can you make something authentic? Whatever you make will be coming from that fake place that you're trying to be at. And that's what I was like. So I was trying to be much further ahead in my art journey than I really was. And so everything I made was from that inauthentic me over there instead of the authentic me here where I am. So we've got to accept ourselves, the good, the bad, where we are now, how we work now. That means accepting that you are genuinely okay just the way you are. And that means your way of painting, your way of holding the brush, your preferences for colour, your favourite tools, the substrates you like, whether you like to sit or stand, whether you like to paint detailed florals, crazy abstracts, accurate portraits, hyper-realistic still lifes, whatever you like to paint, that you just accept that that is who you are and what you like. And so many of us don't believe that the way we are is enough and that our preferences are enough, but that is everything. So when you look at me or anybody else, any artist whose work you really like, and you want to take their things, that's a natural feeling. We all have that feeling. But the problem is, if you just take their things, they're not your choices. Therefore, the work is immediately inauthentic, and that's why it doesn't feel good to you when you look at it, because it isn't you. And when you look at those artists that you admire, you might feel, as I did, that they are somehow different, better, bigger than you, that they have something you don't have. They are magical, mystical beings with some kind of God-given talent that you didn't get. And this is what I used to believe, and that is absolute nonsense. I know this now. I've taught an awful lot of people, from very beginners to experienced pros making a change. And I absolutely know everybody can do this if they want to put in a little bit of work. So you have just as much talent at self-expression as anybody else does. All we have to do in art is express ourselves, and we can all do that. Some of us have more blocks to that than others, but we can all learn to do it. But what those artists do have that maybe you don't yet is an ability to implicitly trust their own choices and to follow their own path. They're able to silence those voices that we get in our heads that say, oh, don't do it that way. Real artists don't do that. Oh, you're using that brush. That's not right. Oh, you must always do it this way because I read that in a book somewhere. They're able to get rid of all that and focus only on how does it feel to me to do this and how does it look to me? Do I like it? Those people understand that they're not going to know where the journey ends, so there's no point trying to get there. They're going to take one step at a time and they're going to go on a path which leads somewhere. So you might start out painting abstractly and end up finding out that you really want to paint realistic florals or vice versa. And you don't know yet what that's going to be. And that's the exciting part. You don't know where you're going. But each time you make an authentic choice, I like this, you are getting closer to your authentic self. So if you're in art group, art class, and the teacher says, oh, I don't like that pink that you've used, and you instantly think, oh, they're the teacher and they don't like it, so it must be wrong. That's one step away from your authentic self. Their authentic self doesn't like pink. What does yours think? Because they don't matter when it comes to your artwork, and we have to get that into our heads before we can go any further. We have to say, I don't care how clever you are, I don't care how many degrees you have, I don't care how much artwork you sell, I don't care how many galleries you're in. If what you say as the teacher doesn't align with what I personally prefer, I will choose to politely disregard it. So much easier said than done, I know, but I want my words to echo in your head the next time something like that happens, and it will happen. Because people like to impose their views on us all the time. Especially teachers feel that's what they're being paid to do. When I teach, I do none of that. My teaching is about helping you be you. But there's a lot of teachers who feel their job is to help you be them. Obviously, that doesn't work. So there are some things that really great artists understand about composition and colour and line work and form, and all those are things that you can learn if you don't already know them through courses, through memberships, through YouTube videos, through books. There are all kinds of ways to learn those things, but to me, those are nowhere near as important as first learning to simply accept your own preferences and learn your own preferences. And it's always not surprising to me, but it's a revelation to me that each time I share this information, there are people who genuinely do not know what they like, who have never asked themselves that because they're so busy putting everything through the filter of what other people like that they can't think yet for themselves. When I get really quiet, what do I think about pink, for example? What do I think about realistic painting? My teacher says abstract is the only way to go, but what do I feel? Or my teacher says abstract is just daubs and doesn't matter. What do I feel? And when we can still all those other voices and tune into ourselves, that's when we start tuning in to who we're going to be as an artist. So it's both easy and difficult, this thing that I want you to do, to start off with on this first day. I just want, as you go about your business today or today and tomorrow, I just want you to really be thinking about this. What do I like? What times when you've been painting have you felt most alive and happy? And what times have you perhaps felt frustrated? Because anytime you feel frustrated and tight, it's a sign that you've gone out of alignment with who you really are. Forget about thinking about where you want to get to, the goal for your work and how wonderful you'd like it to be. I don't want you to think about any of that yet. I just want you to think about, what do I like doing? What colours do I like? What type of painting do I like? What mediums that I've tried do I like? Just really honing in on it. And if you get some chance to paint today, then notice while you're doing it what you like. But also notice on your walk today or in your house, what are your favorite bits of your house and why? What do you like when you go out for a walk? What do you stop and take photos of? What are you drawn to? And this practice of honoring your own preferences is the very first step in finding your own voice. You don't even need a paintbrush in your hand to begin finding your own voice. You need to start accepting and honoring who you are and what you like. If you want to hear more of this, I will be back over the next few days with some more videos, and I'd love it if you'd stay tuned because this is all important information and I'm doing it step by step so I don't overwhelm you all at once. If you don't want to hear from me again, there's an unsubscribe button at the bottom of this email and you can always get rid of me and never have to hear from me again. But I really believe that finding your own way with your artwork is the most joyful thing an artist can do. I know you're about to set off on a really exciting trip and I hope you'll let me set you off on that journey by sharing the next few videos with you. You are also automatically popped onto my Sunday Artist newsletter list, and it's another source of completely free inspiration, guidance, sometimes a video tutorial, always a podcast recording if you want to listen to it, and always some thoughts to inspire. And I should also say, if it's something you want, if you want to come in and actually work with me and be with me in my artist community and learn directly from me, that is an option that's available to you. It's extremely low cost. I'm not going to do a big sales pitch for it, but there's a link below this video if you want to check it out and have a look and find out more. You get a 30-day free trial, so hey, what's not to love? Anyway, I'll see you again in the next video. In the meantime, do remember, just spend some time pondering on this question of who am I, what do I love, over and above what anyone else thinks. I'll see you next time. Bye.